Your next pain will be soaring electricity costs as energy crisis comes to America. Man, it's gonna get a lot worse before it gets any better. We got the holidays coming around the corner. It's about to get cold, so people are gonna be using the heaters, which means more gas, more electricity. It's gonna be rough. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this information out there so we can get it out, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. And there's also a link to my Instagram where I put out tons of news throughout the day. So check that out. All right, let's talk about this news. One central theme that comes to mind is the impact of higher natural gas prices and, by extension, power prices. Americans will soon see higher gasoline prices at the pump because of the OPEC Plus production cuts slated for the next month. Many folks will also see their electricity bills rise this winter because natural gas generators power a large percentage of the country's grid. This is a double whammy for hundreds of millions of Americans ahead of the midterm elections in about a month, as Democrats scramble to find solutions to tame the energy crisis. From the blowing up of the Nord Stream pipeline system in the Baltic Sea, in NATO's backyard, to reduce Russian natural gas flows to Europe, to soaring U.S. liquefied natural gas LNG exports in Europe, nat gas markets will be very tight everywhere this winter. It's going to get crazy. So I hope you guys are prepared. Well, quote, with U.S. gas storage finishing this summer will well below average levels and lower than what we expected previously owing to strong power burns, we believe there is a mispricing of this upside risk to gas prices in the near term, Goldman Sachs commodity analyst Samantha Dark wrote in a note to clients last month. Dark revised her winter 2022-2023 forecast up to 7.75 MMBTU from the previous 6.93 dollars MMBTU on renewed tightening fears, and her view of U.S. LNG exports will be higher. The Freeport LNG outage is expected to be resolved next month, increasing LNG exports to the EU. Prices of nat gas are trading about 94% higher than at the start of the year and 370% higher than the 2020 lows. It's just crazy. They're killing our economy. The Democrats are killing our economy. But this means that the power generation units and utilities will be even more expensive to operate and pass along costs to end users. Quote, we're looking at fairly high gas prices, so all things equal, electricity prices should be higher as well, Sarah Immersion, managing principal of ESAI Energy, told Yahoo Finance, quote, we're going to have a pretty strong winter for prices. A recent National Energy Assistance Directors Association forecast said the average U.S. household heating bills is expected to increase by 17.2%. Quote, the rise in home energy costs this winter will put millions of lower income families at risk of falling behind on their energy bills and having no choice but to make difficult decisions between paying for food, medicine, or rent, said Mark Wolf, executive director of NEDA. Oilprice.com's Robert Rapier, explains more about soaring electricity costs for Americans in the months ahead due to part to global energy crisis that is finally washing ashore. So the chickens are coming home to roost. And even before the cold season begins, there are 20 million households behind on their bills. Now power companies are renegotiating power contracts with households, increasing the price per kilowatt substantially. A double whammy at the gas pump and utility bills should stoke discontent with many Americans who've been battered by high inflation under the Biden administration as the Federal Reserve attempts to quell high prices with aggressive interest rate hikes that could plunge households into even more financial chaos by stoking a 2023 recession. What a mess the elites in Washington have caused, and I don't really see any end in sight. Again, like I said earlier, it's going to get a lot worse before this stuff gets better. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out themarkrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.